Oh no.
I brought it up.
I only had to do the one. I'm good, I think.
Sorry, Dylan. The reason I said that is because you went. It sounded like you went robotic for a second.
It's possible.
Yeah, you're never supposed to bring it up.
No.
Oh no. What the?
What happened? What happened?
I'm trying to start a recording so the VOD of this isn't just turbo shit if it like keeps disconnecting me.
True.
But it won't let me change the folder that it saves recordings to. Started streaming and it immediately dropped to 0 kbps.
I like that the game is paused still.
You host your own forge?
No.
Hmm.
It's hosted by Forge. So we use the VTT Foundry, and it's hosted by a service called Forge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember complaining about the naming.
Yeah.
Because it was confusing that the Forge hosts the Foundry.
Right.
I thought they could have came up with a better name, but what do I know?
What indeed?
So did I miss anything?
We were fighting about
No?
something, but I don't remember. Oh, no, nothing of importance.
Okay. Wonderful.
I think Scene was trying to peer through the hole in the sky.
Right, that's true. That's right.
And that's the game-related content that we left off on.
Okay.
I think I gave you a roll for that even.
Yep. 11 minutes and 32 seconds ago.
So, you are using the spyglass to peer through that rip in the sky. Are you just trying to see what's there, or are you trying to look for something in particular?
I'm specifically trying to see if I see the eyes again.
Got it.
I'm trying to see.
Boy.
I'm essentially trying to see if what's happening is that the world is like essentially being revealed or like unhidden.
So you don't see the eyes in this particular instance, but you do feel it's a little like that feeling of being watched. It's a little like you feel a bit exposed. That spot where the sky is torn, the sky almost seems like farther away, and the stars seem like a little bit alien to you. There are some familiar patterns in there, but it's like bent in a way that you're not familiar with. You do think that the world is being revealed in some fashion.
Okay.
At the same time, they must only be seeing like a tear of the world on the other side as well. Like they're not seeing your full world.
Planet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Paris, can you only do that pull the book out of thin air thing in your tower?
Terrace will randomly pull a book from his jacket.
I'm just curious if we could try to get more information on that creature. I'm trying to remember. It took like a week from when we first saw the star in the sky to when the Seraph landed. Right? Was it a week?
That is correct.
Okay.
Lies.
So-
Ish? Correct. There was
Lies, says Mitchell. It was 4 days.
It was 4 days. Mm,
Lies.
Lies. It was 4 days. We saw the fucking star in the sky, and then 4 days later he landed.
Okay, well, maybe it's because his ship was like super powered and his little like, lieutenants and stuff don't have the beefed out ships. Maybe they move slower. Anyway, we have days. How likely is it that this dragon can keep doing what it's doing for days without rest?
Is that something you're asking in or out of character?
I'm asking in character.
Okay.
To you and your random book you pulled out of your bag.
I'll stuff that one. You're not quite sure. It
What'd
might
you
have
call
looked
it?
like a romance novel. But it's gone now. You don't see what it was. Anyhow.
What'd you call your mom?
Creature?
Oh, okay. That makes sense. She is a creature.
She is, indeed. One that I suspect would need to rest in order to keep going at the capacity she is. We're just going to call her a she now. I don't know the gender of this dragon, but we're deciding.
Can't wait for it to be a manly man dragon. We get there.
I also don't know it's a dragon. What I do know is evidently it's my mom. So, but I can also help. I doubt that, well, maybe I'll roll well enough that I know what this creature is. But I'll give you a nature check for good measure.
And I will assist.
Maybe you'll both roll natural 20s.
I know, that'd be sick.
It would be super. I mean, should I roll nature too, even though I'm bad at it? Should I do Arcana instead?
You should
Do something else.
Arcana.
Do Arcana. All right, I'll do Arcana.
That's usually our gimmick.
Yeah. Oop, I did not hide that. I apologize.
And admittedly, Scene should also be in here rolling occultism.
He sure can.
Isha from beyond. The the voice in the back of our mind
If
telling
I
us-
don't tell Konnor what to do, he will just simply sit there and do nothing. He'd be like, I play a song to annoy Steris, and I'm like, yes, yes.
Do you want this private or does it not matter?
Private is good.
You want me to reroll private?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Your fate is sealed.
It is private, right? Or is it blind?
Blind GM. Blind GM roll.
Okay. Sorry, I'm
Private
used
GM
to
roll
rolling.
means you can both see it, which is useful sometimes, I guess. Okay. So, Steris, you did roll a nat 20, so your failure
Oh.
gets upgraded to a success. How best to answer this? So,
Okay.
you can ask one question about this creature. You already know that it is something similar in strength, surpassing in strength to
Vestigia?
yes, correct.
Is this creature native to this world?
No.
No, I've already given you guys that, so I will not
Oh, okay.
tax you your one question. It seems to be alien to this world. From what you know of the swamp, it seemed to make itself at home. It made a home of the territory that it was in, despite that. But it
It wasn't a
is
bad home either.
inside of the Veil. And you haven't seen evidence, anyway, that it arrived with the Seraph on his vessel. You think you would have seen a creature that big, some sign of it flying around down in the down in Monteclano. So even though it is alien to this world, maybe it has been here sometime. You're not totally sure. And I guess that might be why you know something about this. It reminds you of perhaps something you read in... Maybe you can tell me why you know this, but you've heard somewhere stories of a sea creature that didn't menace sailors so much. It's not that they, like, this creature has been a problem for sailors, but creatures under the water, there are, like, various societies that make their home under the water. They don't have too much contact with surface people by nature of their biology, but there are, like, shark people under the surface, and various other societies that you tangentially know about. And this is kind of like a boogeyman to those societies.
I feel like she probably
It's
read.
Bob.
It's Bob. It probably came up as like a dramatic part of a conflict in one of her romance novels, and she did some research to like figure out where the author got the idea from, and that's probably why she knows.
That makes sense. Maybe it was the equivalent of, like, the equivalent of an Ursula in some kind of in-world Little Mermaid story.
Little Mermaid, yes,
Yeah.
correct. You picked up what I was putting down. Yes. Okay. What I want to know is more about this breath weapon.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to word my question though.
I can post you the stat block.
Great.
We can
Yeah.
figure out the in-world justification and in-world question, but the stat block is this.
He's attacking the brain of the sky? It's crazy.
This doesn't
Okay,
help you
so-
too much with why it's doing what it's doing to this guy, I suppose.
Well,
So
that's
if that's your
okay.
question,
My main thing was like, is there a cooldown on this thing? And I see there is, but it's not much.
it's not much.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, 17d6, you can just shrug that off.
Yeah.
It could be as low as 17 damage.
I would love to see that actually happen in the game.
The average
17 ones.
Yeah. The average isn't too cataclysmic. It's like 60 damage or so.
A real killer here is confused.
Truly.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass debuff to deal with.
And the other killer is 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's very normal for breath weapons.
I know.
Once you
but
get into like tier 4.
absolutely.
Okay, well, max damage is only 102, so we could actually all shrug that off if we're at full health.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You can
it's
take at least one of these.
Mhm.
me with my 5 hit points remaining if I take max damage.
Mhm.
Crazy. Okay.
You're also forgetting that we're probably taking double that.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
likely failing.
Right.
We're going to be failing a lot. Yeah. No, we're not fighting it. Here's hoping that there's some crazy weapon we don't know about in Temel, and Isha can just shoot it out of the sky.
Well, I'm thinking the arcs might blast. So I'm hoping we can use the arcs.
Oh, you want to
Nuke
use
this
the arcs
thing.
to blast? Okay,
That's
well,
what that's what Turris was saying basically. He's like,
either way, our
20
mission
arcs
stays
of
the
this thing.
same. Yes, that thing is a threat, but not getting the arcs in time is arguably a bigger one.
Also, this is labeled as hallucinatory breath, but what it is truly doing is like twisting in a similar way to the witness, but on a much larger scale than just his square. It's like twisting the space that it hits. The space and the time that it hits, and kind of like tearing it to shreds. So it's kind of like bending the fabric of reality is how it is creating this hallucination.
What you're saying is just bending the reality of fabric.
Yeah, that's what it's doing up there.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
To shreds, I say.
To shreds, you say.
All right, well, we learned that it's bad, which we already knew. We'll get our rest and begin our journey tomorrow.
Well, it's not time to go to sleep yet.
So you set your camp out, prepare some food, get some rest, tend to your wounds. Everyone just go ahead and bump yourselves up to full. And spread out what you pulled from the manor before it was so shredded itself. From the witness himself, you retrieved his blue cloak from around his strange flesh suit left over after he became emptied through his wounds.
Oh yeah, I have that, don't I?
As well as a black star knife. Let's see, can I pull it? Can I force? I don't know how to show players a particular token, a particular sheet. You will find if you enter in your search bar, just Manor, Manor. Oh,
Where am I searching this one?
in the somewhere near the bottom of the actors page, you will see Manor loot, and you can search for loot to bring it up. You can search for Manor loot to bring it up.
The loot
I
token is
I
not-
don't see mana loot.
Oh,
just
I
drag
just
the
thought
loot
I-
token. Just
Oh, I
drag the
can
loot
do that.
token
Yeah.
out, please. Thank you.
All right. Let's see.
Buddy.
Let's make everyone an owner first before I adjust that. And then,
All of our
and-
cursors so eager.
There's Matter.
there it is. So, from the witness himself, you get his blue cloak and his black star knife. From the master bedroom, you retrieve a locket. I forgot to make a treasure item for this. Because of course. You retrieve a locket showing a dining room. With an older man that you recognize as the witness, as well as a kind of frail-looking woman and a child with kind of brown, messy hair.
That was not on him, right?
That was not on him. That was in the master bedroom.
Alright.
You also find like a mix of clothing and accessories, but nothing that really caught your eye as important to grab. As you were kind of like hurriedly going through the master bedroom. In Martel's room, you found... I'm going to put this directly on the party sheet. I'll take care of it there. In Martel's room, you found 70 gold. In the first floor office, you found some documents. You gather pretty quickly that it was Martel's office. There was a litany of vulnerable places to attack Rudel in some of the documents, and people there vulnerable to blackmail, bribes, and other pressure. You also find a ledger indicating some shady transactions handled by Martel, including regular work to some mercenaries labeled Amber and Ash. About a week ago, Martel hired Amber and Ash for something labeled just Rudel archaeology interests. And you find 20 more gold on the table. Which again, I'm adding to the party sheet. In the northeast office, you find a crystal ball. You find an item known as a chroma kaleidoscope. Which effectively lets you like dazzle a creature that you hit with a weapon. And you find a baton made up to look rather mundane. Kind of made to look like it's used in like simple parlor tricks, like the very simple like plastic or wooden wand that you use to like hit a deck of cards. They were using in a magic trick, that kind of thing. My dog is going to interrupt me. Jill. I did not stop him before he wound up. Anyway, you find this to actually be a magical wand, just done up to look mundane. It is a wand of distracting chatter, but slightly modified. It slightly modifies distracting chatter to sound like the chattering or fawning of friends, insulting words from rivals, but also like confessed unrequited affections from rivals. This is all from that like office that had the crystal ball in it and kind of looked like a room to entertain guests. So these are all in service of silly magic tricks, essentially. In the showroom, proper, you find a hairpin with a glass flower upon it. You also found the button to open up the basement, and in the basement you found it kind of looked like a safe room, but also there were like boxes of crates of like unsorted items down there, artifacts that had been acquired. The one that catches your eye is a banner with a symbol that looks very similar to the one on Turkon's pauldron, and a note saying that it was taken from a Temelian scouting party sent to Rudel. That is only in there as unusual object. That is the banner. In the ballroom, the robots, Turris, are part organic, as you kind of discovered during the fight, some kind of mollusk, but it's kind of like hard to tell where the machine ends and the creature begins, if they're even separate at all. What were you looking for in particular, pulling those guys apart?
Kinda, I guess, any central hardware and or processing, like brains. Yeah, what makes them tick, basically?
It does indeed seem like they just have an organic brain. Although it is fused with metal in places. It does not at all remind you of the core at the center of your tower or the kind of like crystals that make up, control cores made by like the Four and their followers.
Mm-hmm.
But you can pull out one of those brains if you want. I don't have a loot item for that, but we'll do that as needed.
I'd probably take the whole head just to be sure.
All right. And then you are also able to harvest the material making up the tree has some unusual properties. And you think it might be a good idea. You look around the ballroom, and really that tree is the most interesting thing in there other than the guards. And so you manage to harvest a kind of like a good chunk of that. Since it's kind of like grown up from the floor like a tree, it's a little tricky to get like a cohesive chunk of it, but you manage it. There's also in there as unusual object, but it kind of looks like a brick of metal. Let's
Take
see.
that one as well.
And then finally, the rogue outside, whose name you did not catch before they passed on.
I think their name was Squish.
Has
or
an
Ash.
interesting, yeah, just like a mundane dagger, and then an interesting cane that was like a short sword that they had drawn during the fight. And you also found a strange pair of gloves. The gloves caught your eye as magical, so you acquired those before you moved on as well.
Well, shall we move everything over to the party
Oh.
and then start to
Yeah,
decipher these objects?
well, if you would like.
I already took the stuff that I think Turris would have like taken. Like he's the one that took the cloak. So I took the cloak and the dagger. And
Well, I meant
took
everything
the-
that's left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can move it there. I took the hairpin and the locket. Yeah.
There's one more thing on the rogue outside, by the way. Another seemingly disappointing coin purse. Although, to your surprise, when you pop it open, you find 30 platinum.
Burn.
Okay, wow.
And you said the banner had my symbol on it or somebody else's?
Yeah, it had a symbol similar to the one on your pauldron. The one. It's similar to Vesgal's symbolism, perhaps not
Okay.
identical.
I
The way you're
think
used to.
I think it was me that went down in there to like look around where that was found, right? But then
Yeah.
if I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks like Turkan's pauldron, I'd probably show it to him almost immediately as soon as we get a free moment too. Look at this thing.
Does it look familiar to Turkon outside of it just having a similar like icon?
I would say not particularly. It's like a banner, kind of like wrapped up with like a, kind of like a small flagpole, either basically something to hang it off of that you would either hold or like affix to armor or something to that effect. And that's not, I would say, maybe Turkon could tell me different, but I would say that's probably not culturally in vogue with Vesgal's current followers.
Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm muted. Yeah, no, they really don't have any like current heraldry.
Yeah, that makes sense. So other than that,
But I did
symbol,
roll to try to identify it.
you actually successfully identify it. Let's Let's see. So I will identify it. I meant to edit this slightly, but it is called a Stalwart's Banner. I'm gonna buff this a little bit. So we'll change the effect of this a bit. I'm not totally sure how, but you can effectively activate this to give your party 5 temporary hit points. And then for the next round, a +1 status bonus to like Fortitude and Reflex DC. I am probably going to adjust that a little bit because it's a little too niche to me that it is only effective against being knocked prone, and you have to like guess when something's going to try to knock you prone. So I'll buff that in some manner.
Cool. I will be right back, but I'm still listening.
Okay. Let's see. Anyone else want to... So Turkon spent 10 minutes checking that out. Anyone want to try to identify anything that night?
Of course.
All right.
Yes. I'll try to identify the hairpin.
Okay.
Me trying to memorize the options. It's nature, arcana, occultism, religion.
Yes. Let's see. I think it'll let me post this to chat.
Oh, thank you.
Can I get one of those for me, for the cloak,
Yes.
the dagger, and the tree bit?
Sure. Yes. These you don't have to roll in private. It'll kind of like let you know whether you succeed or not right away. Let me see. So here is the blade. Here is the tree chunk.
It is crafting.
And then the cloak. Oh, wow. We already have magical fish brain in a jar.
I'm collecting berate.
That looks like the
That's
blade.
For the blade. Yeah, I'm just going in order here.
The blade is a tricky one to identify. That looks... It seems like it's going to be the most difficult to pin down.
So that's no.
Correct.
Perhaps I can aid you while also striking up a bit of a conversation. We're allowed to aid with these, yeah?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, great. So I'll see Turris struggling, and frankly, I'm struggling too, but I don't have to admit that. And she'll offer to help in exchange for him answering a few of her questions.
Oh, I do love this game.
All right. I'll help you with occultism. I guess I could have clicked the button. But I've been meaning to talk to you about how Isha convinced you to let Trebert into the tower.
Oh, right. That.
Yes, that.
Well,
As you are...
sorry. No, go ahead.
The nature of this item is somehow just immediately obvious to Steris. Steris is able to decipher it.
I'm holding my tongue until he answers.
Okay, excellent. Turris, pretend you don't see this.
This may not exactly be the answer that you desire. However, it wasn't so much as Isha that it was you that convinced me. You see, the whole business with the deep conversation that we had prior to Tribert returning, you petitioned me to apply more trust towards the others, especially Isha. Even if Isha doesn't necessarily provide the insight that I desire when going forward in situations that I'm unsure of. Well, you told me that despite that, I should imply more trust than I do. So in that situation, I did.
Despite knowing who you were letting in?
Well, it wasn't for me to really suddenly say that he was there, now was it? It was a very complicated situation. And I operated under the trust of my party, and that it would sort itself out when we returned. I didn't know it was going to happen before that. That merits anything. And once he was there, what was I to do anyhow? Turn him away? Would you have been satisfied with that, knowing he was out there somewhere? Not able even to confront him?
I would have been more satisfied knowing he's not in our safe house. Having a party member who claims to trust me have a conversation before deciding to let someone like that into a place that's supposed to be a safe haven.
I
You
am
knew
still
who-
a safe haven.
It's cute you believe that. And I think it ironic that as soon as I voice my trust in Isha, this happens.
You're speaking that of Isha rather than myself, I assume.
Why is it that we always defer to her? You had a conversation with her, right? That's why you were acting so cagey that day before I found out. Why the halls kept twisting in strange ways. Why does her opinion matter more than the rest of ours, than mine?
I don't necessarily believe it does. I believe that we all have our strong suits. This is the wealth of history of the land and how it works. I think that everyone brings a valuable component to our fight. As I said on the day that we met, I believe that we were in the right place at the right time because we were meant to. And I wasn't born much more before that. I am trying to learn a great deal about a great many things very quickly, that I can keep my head above the water here. And in the acts of social navigation, all I have to go on are my readings and my intuition, wherever that comes from. So I apologize if I made the wrong choice by letting him in. I'm simply trying to do the best for the entire group, not any one person.
Do you think you and Isha are equals?
I don't even understand how to possibly reply to that. I still don't quite understand what Isha is, other than some sort of divine vestige of this world. And I know not myself and my full capabilities. I think that perhaps apples to oranges would be something I've read before.
Well, I think Isha is using us. I think the only thing that matters to her are the plans that she schemes, her goals, and she doesn't care who gets in the way or who she hurts to achieve them. And I think she's using you, both figuratively and literally, as a place to house her followers. I think there's a pretty clear distinction between those that she's recruited and those you have. They don't answer to you.
I think they can. I merely don't have any tasks for them, but
I think when push comes to shove, they won't answer to you. You're letting her run your tower. You let her place that beacon. And she hides behind her riddles and her half-truths, claiming she's never lied. But I think she lies by omission. She claims to trust us, but I'm skeptical.
Curse kind of frowns and looks down, rubs his chin, thinking for a moment. It's that very skepticism that I held before you convinced me to imply more trust. You can see how
And see how foolish I was for that. And immediately it was broken, which is why I'm trying to speak of it now. So you don't fall fool to that like I did. I have no doubt that Isha's plan will save this world. Doesn't mean I trust her with my feelings, with what I think is important. She's not a friend. We're simply useful to her. For now.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but if I may ask, is our retinue not useful to you in your own desire for vengeance? It's not something I condone either. And if Isha's lying to us, I don't condone that, but I also... concept of vengeance is lost on me. I think it is petty. I think that it seems to wound more than it heals. And if you think that Isha's obfuscation of what she knows and what she's doing is bad for the group, then I also think that your quest for vengeance is as well. If we are speaking truths, that is mine. I mean it nothing towards you as a person. I think you're quite nice. But I'm worried about you and for you, as I am with Isha. And I hope you can take that in good faith, knowing that I am not intending to meddle in your own desires. But it would be... I would be an untrue friend if I weren't to voice my concerns.
You're allowed to have an opinion. And I hear you. Though I disagree. We don't need to argue the specifics. And she'll throw the star knife towards your feet. Like, it's called Eclipse. and she'll point out the details of it. If you have specific ways you think my vengeance quest is hurting the party, I'm not opposed to hearing them. But if it's just your distaste for it, you can keep that to yourself.
He'll force a smile and nod. You can count on me to be truthful in any regard. Unlike Isha, I suppose. And I will keep an eye out and make sure that as we are solving one problem with the Seraph, another does not develop. I am hoping that that is not the case. But once again, if it means anything, I did not know that man would return. I thought what's done was done.
Is there anyone you'd turn away from your tower, aside from the Seraph himself?
Kinda frowns thinking about it for a moment. I suppose that depends on the person in question. Suppose that anyone that could ally with the Seraph could be turned away? Should be turned away?
And how can you tell when they show up at your door knocking?
Well, you see, that's the problem. Up until now, only those that have been sent there are the ones to have found it. But I suppose that is something that I should consider for the future.
What do you see when they show up? What do you feel, sense, whatever it is?
That's quite hard.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That's quite hard to put in words. Much like I feel sensations in this this frame of a body that you see before you, I similarly feel sensations within my main being. What you might feel as a cold touch or something warm, I can feel in the space around me and inside me. And the people there that enter, it's not unlike a sensation like that as well.
Doesn't sound like much of a screening process.
It's a very rudimentary way of describing it. I'm sorry.
Well, like I told Bait, this party likes to make the most of a bad situation. Let's hope I'm able to do so.
I'll give another smile. I think we can. I think you can. Listen, things are stressful right now, but don't ask me to help further any of your vengeance, but if you need anything else, I'm at your service.
She'll give Turris kind of a curt nod and turn to move away. You can figure out the rest of the items on your own. It'll be good practice.
Practice makes perfection. Perfection.
So feel free to roll for those other items. All right. Let's see. That looks like the material. Yep.
I want to know what's in this tree. If it looked like it was budding any seeds or anything like that too, I might have taken those.
Not in this case, no.
Okay.
So this is a kind of strange malleable metal. And it can sort of partially pass through iron and steel without like being blocked by them. Not fully, but partially. So it can bypass if it's crafted into a weapon, it can bypass like shields and like some of the defensive properties of armor on a trained wielder of armor. On armor, it is a bit more flexible than other materials, so you get more of your dex bonus to defense, but it has less built-in AC.
Interesting.
Also, it's worth 550 gold.
Burn.
But as a resource and not a treasure, it would sell for about 225.
Ah.
And then you have not rolled for the cloak yet, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, that is also a success.
Good.
So, this cloak allows you to use the translocate spell once per day. Bending space in a similar way to the witness. Translocate lets you basically teleport 120 feet. In this case, space bends around you as you use it. So the square where you start and the square where you end, space is kind of like bending around you and concealing you, or anyone else in that square, or basically until they leave or until the end of your next turn. But definitely the strongest part is the translocate. Oh, and it gives a +2 item bonus to occultism checks.
Oh, sick. Maybe I'll change out my translocate spell for something else now because I actually have that prepared. I'm waiting to use it.
It's a good spell. It's a good spell to have.
Nope.
Let's see. And then if that is all the identifying that you guys want to do tonight, then you can certainly take your rest. The party sheet still, of course, has the banner, which has been identified, and the gloves from the rogue, and the crystal ball. As well as the wand and the kaleidoscope, but you don't have to identify those.
Take the crystal ball. I forgot about that one.
Okay.
Oop.
Bail, no.
Oh no, we lost Bill. He's back.
I guess I've just been not touching my computer long enough.
Rip.
There was a time while Steris and I were talking that my screens went black. I was like, oh no!
I wish Windows. Well, I don't know. I guess it doesn't make sense. But I wish Discord voice activity would keep it alive.
Right? That should be enough. I agree.
The crystal ball is also a tricky one to identify, but
Yippee.
there it is if you'd like.
Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'll roll good. Nope.
And you get no assistance with this, I imagine.
I mean, unless somebody else wants to approach my very
Yes.
prickly self. Oh, okay. Great.
I'll just pick up the ball and like turn it over
Turgon's
in my
like,
hands a
this
couple
is
times.
throwable.
Dribble it.
Dribble it.
Alright.
I
However you would,
just need to roll.
however you would like to
roll
aim.
normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. +2, +2, +11 or
Yes.
+11.
Even
Hmm.
a calming.
Rolled off the 19.
I'll take that as a success in this case. As with Steris's other conversations tonight, it isn't necessarily like the additional knowledge about crystal balls that will help Steris maybe relax and take a closer look at this. So, let's see.
I like to think that, he's not actually using like his knowledge of religion. He's just waiting for the divine inspiration.
Something to knock him upside the head.
So, this is a crystal ball made of clear quartz. It allows you to, basically allows you to cast clairvoyance or scrying.
Oh.
You can ponder the orb.
Indeed.
That's a very high
Ah.
DC check for scrying.
This is a higher level item. This is a level 14 item. Because the Ordines have enough cash to afford such things and import such